Could you briefly tell us about the cultural origins of female genital mutilation?
We can
trace this practice back to the 6th century BC, so before the Jewish, Christian or Muslim faiths. However, it really took root and developed in Eastern Africa, the Nile region, and then spread, notably to Central America and West Africa. The ritual was initially above all about female fertility or better harvests, so these were essentially animist rites.
Forced marriage is punishable under criminal law in a dozen European countries only. Is punishing this crime enough? Should other EU countries punish it as well?
If we want to change the global behaviour of the populations that are directly concerned, you need two things in tandem: preventative measures for the adults, and for adolescents, both male and female, sensitisation. And if the message doesn't get across, repressive measures should then be used.
Are there any EU countries that provide us with a successful model for fighting against forced marriage or FGM?
France is one country recognised as having been working on the problem of FGM for the longest. Right at the start of the 1980s, there were prosecutions, public information campaigns and training of professionals. So we've been addressing the issue very thoroughly for the past 30 years, whether it be at the state level or the NGO level. For forced marriages, I think Britain is a very good example because they set up things very early on, like, for example, a dedicated police unit with the power to intervene at UK airports to stop young girls at risk of forced marriage from leaving. There were also sensitisation and information campaigns, telephone hotlines for people in danger were set up, and shelters for victims.
Among the women arriving in Europe today, some are coming from zones where forced marriage and FGM are common. Are the new waves of migrants going to give fresh impetus to these practices? Do we need a new targeted information campaigns for these communities?
In any case, every new wave of immigration obliges us to think about women's rights, violence, and how to act to protect eventual and potential victims. The starting point has to be the information you have on the ground. Did their countries of origin already have prevention, sensitisation and information policies? Had prevention and protection strategies been applied? This is important because EU nations need their policies to be tailored and adapted to theirs, if they exist.
De ces exemples venant des pays d'origine pour les appliquer et les adapter à nos territoires européens.